Tom, if you want to kick things off. Go ahead.
Olof, you have to be pleased, I would think, with the defensive play on the team. Limited Colorado, not many scoring chances, not many shots, but the offense probably could have done more.
Yeah, I mean, overall, it's normally a game we win. You know, I think we dominated most of the game. We have the stats here. It was 18-2 shots and limited them to 0 chances basically. There were a couple of dangerous situations in the box where we defended well, but apart from that, they didn't have any chances, and we created enough to score at least 2 or 3 goals. A little bit unlucky with the offside there on Cass, and we had 3-4 great chances to score. So yeah, obviously a game we should have won, but the performance was good.
And how did you feel about the defensive unit with the 3 in the back and how it, with the job it did on limiting chances?
Yeah, very good. They all did very well, and we looked solid, tactically. But I was pleased with the attack as well. We had some great combinations from build out to build up. Varied our game with the longer ball, the ball in behind, but some really good periods in possession as well, where we managed to create chances. So yeah, it wasn't an amazing performance from our point of view, but it was the first game, and we dominated. Probably should have won. We'll analyze it tomorrow and move on, and hopefully do better next week.
Justin, then Charlie.
Coach, I wanted to ask you about Alfredo Morales makes his city debut tonight for Eddie Leuven, and he looked very comfortable from his first time getting into the game. Can you explain a little bit about what you see in him that makes you trust him in that way?
Yeah, he's done well in preseason, even though he hasn't had that many trainings and a long off season. So he still needs to work on his fitness. So I don't think he's ready for so much more than he did today. But we'll build on that performance. But he's good on the ball. Brings calmness in possession, and is an intelligent football player. So. I thought Edu did really well as well. Worked extremely hard. He got a bit tired, but that's what we want. We want them to give it all, and if they get a little bit tired after 60-70, we change.
Go ahead, Charlie.
Hey, Coach. You walk away with 1 point tonight. I guarantee you one name stuck in the head of 22,000 people tonight is Simon Becher. He with the majority of the expected goals for the team with 1.12, with the full expected goals being 1.87 for the squad tonight. Can you talk on his performance and what you thought you saw from Simon Becher tonight?
Yeah, he worked really hard, as did the whole team. Klaus did well up front as well. I thought it was an overall really good team performance. Several great individual performances as well. We'll have a look at it afterwards and analyze it and all the individual performances. But no, I have a feeling that many did well today.
Coach, clearly it was a decent performance from the team, but next games they're gonna be against really tough opponents, San Diego and Galaxy, both in California. What do you think that team has to do better besides being more clinical? Because those two teams have a little bit more hierarchy than Colorado.
Yeah, really tough games coming up. So we need to improve in all areas. Even though it was a really solid defending performance, we can improve there as well. We already had a look at halftime on the few occasions they threaten, and how we can improve there. And I'm sure we'll find more clips for tomorrow, and then improve our attack as well. I was happy with the end of the year, with the last 15-20, when we showed even more confidence in our build up. A little bit more movement, center backs being confident in taking the ball forward, and we just need to continue to build on our confidence. But it will be tough these games coming up.
From what I've noticed, you clearly value possession a lot, mostly when it's side to side. Is that something that do you think that team has to do better, or has to do more often instead of playing more direct, or do you think it's a hybrid, a mix of both?
No, it's definitely a mix. I mean, I thought our runs in behind were really good from our wing back, from Cello, from our two strikers. So it's a mix, not to become predictable. But as I said before, we had especially in the second half, we had a couple of longer possession attacks that finished with chances or corners. So no, I think you're right. It's about mixing it up and not being predictable.
Thank you.
Lynn?
Yes, Coach. I want the back line group there with Yarrow, Kessler, Hebert. What was it with that mix that you settled on that group? I mean, I know that was before you, obviously last year, that was a group that there's a lot of different parts there. What made you settle on that group, and what did you see from them?
Yeah, and Kyle and Josh has done really well in preseason in those positions. Kyle has played everywhere, all across the back five. He's played right wing back, left wing back, and right and left center back. So and has done well in all those positions. Josh mostly to the right, and Henry left play to the right and in the middle, and that's what we've done in preseason. Make them play in all those positions, both to get an understanding of all the positions, but also to see where they are most comfortable. And Henry in the middle, I thought had a great game today. And we've had Giannis there as well. He played wing back today. We had Joachim, unfortunately injured now, has played in the middle and to the left as well. So we have some options there.
Matt, Rakio?
Late last year, there was a development on the team was that they would build up short on the left and then long on the right, and that seemed to be what kind of manifested tonight, especially in the first half. Is that something you saw from last year, or is that just something that kind of naturally came from today's game plan?
Sorry, say again. What?
So last year, late in the season, we saw them. City would build up a lot shorter on the left, and then they would build up kind of with longer balls down the right flank. And it seems like in the first half, that was a lot of the build-up, shorter on the left, looking for the long stuff on the right, or switching it over to the right. Is that something you saw from last year that you wanted to bring forward because you knew guys were similar, or is that just something that manifested because of the game plan against Colorado tonight?
I think it mostly has to do with the personnel. We have those really good runs from Tots on the right-hand side. He times those really well, and also we have Akil there who can also join in the attacks, whilst we're maybe a little bit more build up orientated on the left side with Edu, with Giannis. But mostly depends on who's playing. We have other options on the left as well, with maybe some more deeper runs. Obviously, Simon playing to the right a little bit as well, which he really likes those runs in behind. So yeah, it had mostly to do with the personnel.
Ashley?
Hello, Ashton Fry with Fry Talk. You're used to playing in this type of environment. What do you think about the energy at Energizer Park?
Yeah, it was amazing today. I wish I could have enjoyed it more, but so focused on the game plan and to get everything right before the game. So, but it was nice. It was really nice before the game, and they supported us all the way through. So great atmosphere.
And what positive moments do you want to take into the next match?
I have to analyze it now tonight. Have a look at it again, and come back with a more detailed opinion. But I think, as I said before, overall it was a good game. We created enough chances to score a couple of goals at least, and I mean, obviously defending to have basically expected goals is almost zero for Colorado. It's quite unusual in a game. So obviously happy with that.
Thank you.
And we'll wrap up with Tom.
Yeah, what can you say about Nielsen's injury, severity of it, how long? And also Rasmus Alm wasn't in. Is he also
Yeah, we're evaluating that. Unfortunately, late now in preseason, they had those injuries, so we're not exactly sure yet. We don't think it's too serious. They should be back soon, but we're gonna evaluate that now in next few days, and we'll know more.
Same for both of them?
I don't know. I'm not sure. No, it's not the same injury, and
Timetable?
could be. I don't know. Have to get back to you in a few days. We'll know more.
Clock on Tuesday?
All right, Coach, thank you for joining us. Appreciate
All
your
right.
time.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Justin, go ahead.
Akil, getting the start tonight, you look very comfortable out there. Do you feel like in this system? I know we talked in the preseason about how you love playing in the middle, but did you feel comfortable out there with the responsibility that you were given?
Yeah, I felt very comfortable. I felt very confident. Like I said before in our little brief interview, that I love playing midfield, and I feel very comfortable there.
Tom.
Just how was it for that first night, the new coach in this situation? And looks like pretty obviously the stats say a pretty good job defensively that you guys did.
It felt very positive. I feel like we created chances. I felt like we could have won the game. And defensively, we were very solid, and we didn't give up much chances. So I felt like it was a very solid game all around.
You guys had like 53% possession, and last year, if you had that much possession, you usually lose the game. What was it that was working today that you could build with the ball
I
as
felt like
opposed to last year?
with the back five, and the two in front, I feel like we have a good, I say, grounding, and felt like everyone's comfortable on the ball and we can keep it. And I'd rather have the ball than not have it.
Mhm.
We'll go to Jeremy Clements.
Thanks so much. Hey, Akil. On a night like tonight, after such a complete performance on both sides of the ball, is there a level of frustration in the locker room, given that you guys had a lot of draws last year and where you start with this year?
I mean, a little bit. We're not really thinking about last year. We're thinking about this year, and I feel like, there's more games to come, and we'll only get better.
Justin.
Akil, when Olof Mellberg was in here earlier, he mentioned you and Thomas Towland on that right side having some chemistry and ability to jump into the attack. Can you talk a little bit about how that partnership is allowing you both to have some flexibility to jump forward and look for balls in the box?
He's very good in attack, and I feel like since I played outside back before, I feel like I'm good at drifting out there, and he can get higher, and I feel like we have a good connection, and it only gets stronger.
And then is there some confidence, like talking about the back line, just knowing that that stability and the structure is going to be in there?
Definitely with the back five and the three center backs signed over, there's more comfortability and getting higher up the pitch for him.
As you start your third year with this club, how have you felt that you've developed into this? Is this the year of Akil Watts?
Really hope so, with God's grace, I hope so. Yeah.
I mean, do you just feel more, with the time and with the years of playing here that, you're ready to go?
Of course, I've always felt confident in myself, and I believe this is my year.
Is this a good the way Olof wants to play? Is that a good fit?
Definitely, being box-to-box midfielder, I feel like it's my position, and I feel like I can do it well.
Little Lynn, and then Ashley.
And just how good was it in training camp? I mean, you got to play a lot
Mhm.
in training camp. How well did that do for getting you ready?
I mean,
For
it
this.
gave me a lot of confidence that he's very confident in me, and he believes in me, and I hope I can continue to perform like this.
You mentioned that back five group there. What do you feel like has allowed there to be more confidence with that group, at least in this early stage right now?
There's a lot of communication between them, and they all trust each other that we'll slide over if the ball's on one side, and I believe in them that they'll get the job done.
Is there, think there's already a chemistry that's been able, I mean, I know there was a lot of change last year, but you feel like there's a level of stability maybe right now early in the season that, has helped with that?
Yeah, I believe so. Everyone meshes well, everyone gets along. There's a lot of positivity in the locker room, and I feel like we can do great things this year.
Hello, Ashton Fry with Fry Talk. You played a great match today and you looked extremely comfortable on the ball. What was your favorite moment in this game for yourself and the team?
I would say the whole game, honestly. I felt we played well and we deserved the win, and obviously it didn't happen, but I believe more wins will come.
Thank you.
Hey, Akil. I mean, being at the pitch at the stadium for the first two openers in the last two seasons, and then getting the nod to start in this one. Do you think that gave you a little bit of a pep in your step to start this game rather than being on the bench and being a substitute chance to start the season?
Of course, like I said before, I'm always confident in myself, and when our name's called, I'm confident I can perform for sure.
Anyone else? Keel, thank you for joining us. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you. I'm going.
Hey, Simon. Offensively, you had some good chances there. Frustration on your part that you couldn't get one of those to go in?
Yeah, of course. I think if you look at the game as a whole, yeah, I did a lot of what we really wanted. You know, I think credit to our entire back line. We were really, really good defensively, and yeah, we created a lot of chances. So, yeah, going forward, we just have to put some of them away and, you know, take them as they come. And, you know, mentality in the game is next chance, next chance. Try to put the last one behind you. And yeah, so I thought, yeah, we stuck to the game plan. And yeah, personally, I think maybe on another day, one or two of those go in. So yeah, just keep working and yeah, next chance.
Yeah, how do you feel in a game like this? I mean, because you were all over the place and had chances and were dangerous all around, but just couldn't get that last step with them.
Yeah, I think unfortunate, you know, we had one called back. I think, you know, Zach made a really good save on one, you know, kind of at point blank range. And, you know, we had a number of chances in the second half as well. So yeah, just, you know, continuing to work and stick to the game plan.
Charlie.
Hey, Simon. Statistically, tonight was your best game, going more than 80 minutes without netting a goal. You know, what goes into, I mean, you're getting the nod to start with this squad to start the season rather than coming in mid-season and playing Leagues Cup games. What do you think, like, what is Simon Becher's mentality going into this game, thinking they trust me to get the nod, going up with Klaus here as a forward two players? Like, what goes into your mentality in this game?
Yeah, I think you know, starting games and starting the season, it's a lot of bringing energy. You know, I think the entire squad is really excited, and you know, we're really looking forward to being back home at Energizer Park. So yeah, for me, it's yeah, bringing a lot of energy, being dangerous, and you know, of course, scoring goals. So yeah, you know, that's the mentality, working every day and going forward. So
Justin.
So it looked like the attack and defense, just the team in general, was a lot more comfortable with possession, with the ball at their feet today. Was that just kind of based off the structure of how we were working against Colorado? And is that just part of the mentality, just to be a little more comfortable with the ball and try to find those opportunities?
Yeah, we talk a lot about tempo and control, and you know, possession's not necessarily a goal of ours. You know, we want to be dangerous and you know, kind of give what teams take us. So you know, Colorado was backing off a little bit, so I think that's where you see a little bit more of the possession, but also you know, we created a lot of chances. So you know, continuing to probe and try to be dangerous and put balls in dangerous places. So yeah, I think you know, that's kind of what they gave us today. They're backing off a bit. I think they wanted to counter a little bit more. And yeah, so I think that was a little behind the possession.
Simon, you clearly had a good game today. A great game. I mean, man of the match. You run a lot. You wasted a lot of energy. Do you think with all the upcoming games, is that something that you're going to be able to do every single game, knowing that you guys are going to play two tournaments?
Yeah, I think you know, first off, we have a really deep squad. So regardless who's in the 11, you know, I think Olof is pretty demanding. He wants nonstop players. He wants guys that, you know, work really hard on both sides of the ball. And you know, we worked a ton of that in preseason. And I think from a physical side, all of us are you know, feeling really good. And you know, as long as you know, any of us get the nod, I think they've done a really good job getting us prepared physically for the way that we want to play. So yeah, I think, you know, going forward, you know, whenever asked, I think, you know, 110%.
Can you walk us through a little bit the exchange of works with Zach during that play where you were trying to, you know, be in front of him, and you know, there was a lot of things going on right there.
Yeah. I was just trying to get in his head a little bit. You know, he was trying to set the wall and you know, make sure that you know, it was set properly so we couldn't curve it around it. So, you know, as far as I know, I can stand wherever I want. And you know, if that's in front of him, that's in front of him. So, yeah, you know, just a little bit of gamesmanship and trying to get in his head. And unfortunately, the goal right after was called off. But I think,
Worked.
yeah, it would have worked. So
Next, we'll go to Jeremy.
All right, thank you so much. So Simon, in the in the preseason rather, there was a lot of talk about new defensive structure stability. But can you talk about how the partnerships in the offensive third are forming between yourself and your partners in that final third?
yeah, I think we worked a lot in different systems and different combinations of players, and yeah, we created a ton today. I don't necessarily have the stats in front of me, but yeah, a lot of really good chances, and I know from an offensive standpoint, just continuing to be hungry and not satisfied with the work that we put out. So yeah, no, the relationship I think you saw at the end of last season, it was forming really well. So yeah, just continuing to work on that, and I think if we continue this way, a lot of goals will come.
Anyone else? Good. Simon, thank you for joining us. Appreciate your time.
No problem, guys.
Henry, they didn't get much offensively. They had, you can look at the stats. They had two shots and none on goal. Roman didn't have to make a save. How do you feel the defense did tonight?
Pretty good. Can't do too much better than letting up 0 shots on goal. 2 shots, expected goals, I think less than 0.2. So pretty good. Really, really solid.
What made this group work well?
I think Kyle had a really good game. I think Josh had a really good game. Those guys were really solid. Our wingbacks helped out too. Tots was really good, Giannis too. And the guys that came on made an impact too. So I think, just individually, great performances. And then I think the shifting in the back line was really good, covering for each other at all moments. So all those things were really good.
So it looks like you guys have taken to Olof's system fairly well.
Yeah, I actually think that was probably the best we've implemented it so far, including preseason. So I'm glad it came through so far in the regular season. Because in preseason, we were working out a few things, but I think that's the best it's looked.
Lynn?
You mentioned it being the best that it's looked. What has sort of been the key for you guys to develop some of that the chemistry? Like you mentioned individually, but as a group, how has that come along, and what's been the key for that to work as well as it did tonight?
I think some of it's time. So, that's what preseason's for, is like working out the different partnerships. And then the second thing is personnel. I think we have probably 6 center backs. So, we've worked with different lineups throughout. Different guys have been in and out. So I think time and then different partnerships, getting group cohesion, that's all part of preseason. So I think that's helped.
Do you think there's any part of, like there being so many guys who played at the end of last year in sort of a revolving group, does that help at all? Just the fact that now that there's so many who have played?
Yeah, I think it helps. I think we had 7 or 8 new guys in the summer, myself included. And then in this winter window, maybe 2. So we definitely have a lot of the guys from last year's group, which helps with team cohesion.
Justin?
Henry, just kind of talking about the back line. It looked like while there's a lot of stability and just very good formationally, it looked like there's some freedom to dribble into the midfield and make some long passes as well. Can you talk a little bit about just kind of having that freedom throughout the game?
Yeah, that's encouraged. Olaf definitely wants us to take space if we have it. I think Josh had a couple nice dribbles, Kyle as well. Even me in the middle had one in the first half. So if the space is there for us to take, we're definitely encouraged to push forward.
So that's something that's just kind of worked into the system as well as.
For sure, especially with 3 in the back, one guy can go up and then the other 2 can cover more. Whereas if you play 4, it's not as much of a possibility. So with 3 in the back, yeah, it's definitely encouraged.
When you look at the sheet and you mentioned, like those shots on goal, to you, is that more of a game plan thing, or was there something else that, you think was the key to that?
I think that's just a result of really good team defending. I'm not sure I've been a part of a game where we've given up 0 shots on goal, so that's a great thing that happened tonight. I think there was a lot of good communication, a lot of good shifting in the back line. Not necessarily like part of the game plan, let's give up 0 shots on goal, but definitely something that we're very proud of.
Well, when I say game plan, I didn't know if it was maybe something specifically you feel like you guys honed in on that you were able to take away. I mean, no, I think that, their striker obviously has had a lot of success, and you guys more or less, sort of took him out.
Yeah, I think if I were to attribute it to one thing that we worked on, it would be backline shifting. So covering for each other, you know, if a ball gets played behind Josh or Kyle, that I'm there, and if it's behind me, one of them are there. So that shifting across the backline, covering for each other. If I were to point out one thing, it would probably be that.
Charlie?
Hey, Henry. I mean, as close as you can get to perfect game on the defensive side for your unit and the team in general, was there something different you did pregame? Maybe rewatch some Beast games or something? I mean, what do you think changed from the end of last season when you joined this club, when there was some defensive struggles and, of course, you know, team struggles, to now starting off with a clean sheet on 0 shots on goal?
No, my routine was the same. So I walk the field before the game, do my visualization thing. But so same routine. It's worked pretty well for me. But I think we just pieced it together. Last year, I think we had some good performances towards the end there, but to your point, maybe not as consistent. So this is a great way to start defensively with a clean sheet.
Anyone else?
I don't have the lamps in front of me, but had you and Kyle and Josh played together in the preseason?
I believe we had. There's been so many different lineups. You know, unfortunately, Joachim got injured. Timo's been a great addition. Michael also got injured. So we've had a lot of guys back there. I'm trying to think of all the lineups that we've pieced together in preseason. It's been a mix of all 6 of us. So I'm not exactly sure if we've played with that personnel, but we're definitely familiar with each other.
You opted for no gloves out there. Cold weather, not a problem?
I hate wearing gloves. I like, I need to be able to like grab, you know, like I need to hands on. So I don't like wearing gloves.
What were the conditions like? How cold was it?
It was pretty cold. I'm like, you know, I feel like I have a cough right here now. But not too bad.
And it just so as a starting point for the season, you know, you could have had 3 points tonight if you guys get goals. You were, I think, offsides on that on the sorry to bring it up. But I mean, you guys, you know, is this though also a missed opportunity that you could have had 3?
Yeah, I think it's both. I think it's something to build on, but a result that we're not satisfied with. So, you know, we want to win every game at home. We want to win every game, period, but especially the ones at home. But at the same time, we can build on this performance.
Question.
Ashton Fry with Fry Talk. First off, great match, I want to say.
Thank you.
Coach Olof played in the back when he played professionally. How does this help your performance in the defense?
Yeah, so it's definitely his area of expertise. So I feel like there's a lot I have to learn from him. You know, this is a guy that's played 250 games in the Prem, Olympiacos, Juventus. So there's a lot that I can learn from him personally. And I think he spent a lot of time like nitpicking my game, which is a good thing. That's what I want. I want that criticism. So I've already learned a lot and I expect to learn a lot more.
Is there any solid piece of advice that he's given you that stuck with you?
Yeah, I think I've mentioned it like 2 or 3 times, but like the backline shifting, he's been on me about getting like shifting behind Josh or shifting behind Kyle and make sure that I'm covering those balls in behind them. And I think we did that better today.
Thank you so much.
We'll wrap up with Jeremy.
Thanks so much. Henry, can you talk a little bit about the role of a ball playing center back in Olaf's system? There was a lot of conversation in the preseason about how important our center backs and we're going to be in possession this season. Can you talk about that approach a little bit?
The question was role with the ball as a center back, right?
As the ball playing center back, yeah, just how you view your role in that while in possession.
Yeah, I think it's dictating tempo, trying to break lines, advance the attack, know when we want to go quickly, but know when we want to slow it down as well. So there's a few things at hand in that position, but dictating tempo, yeah, knowing when to, you know, go for that kind of killer pass or just keep it moving. So those are a few things that I have to keep in mind.
Cass, thank you for joining us.
Thank you, guys.
Time.
Thank you.